So I got a 2021 Ram 1500 Bighorn with the larger 33-gallon fuel tank in it. And looking online, seems like a lot of people have issues with gauge reading accurately, or when you're filling up the truck with fuel and you're all the way out, not filling all the way up, I guess you could say, not being able to put in 30, 31, 32 gallons, or if you're really out, 33. My truck, I believe, has been in 5 or 6 times now to the dealership, so I was just going to share with people that have frustration what's going on with mine. So I got 20,000 miles on mine. Since the beginning of owning it, if I would run it down right on the line, and my estimated miles went from like 15 and the estimated range says low, and I filled up, I could typically put in 25, 26, rare occasion 27 gallons. Now what the general manager has told me where I'm located is that what he's been told by Ram Engineering is that when that range mile indicator goes to low, you should have about 1.25 gallons left before you're completely out of fuel. So my truck's been in multiple times, and they've had supposedly 2 inspectors out from Ram to work on it. They've done some kind of resetting the computer or changing the tolerances, something like that. And then when I'd run it to low after it's been in there and I could fill up, it'd take about 31, 32 gallons. So, oh, great. It's exactly how it should be working. And that's when my, range mile would turn to low. So like I'm completely out of fuel. Battery died. It went bad in the truck, and got the new battery put in by Ram, same dealership. It was back to its old ways again then, and I would, run it all the way to low, fill it up. Could only put in about 26, 27 gallons on a good day. Drove it again for a while, took it back in. They said they reflashed the computer, some kind of terminology like that. And then it's been good since then. So 2 weeks ago was in for this problem, and the service manager told me, run it to low, fill it up. Let's see if it'll take the, around 30 gallons. So yeah, sounds great. Cruising on the expressway, a few hours away from home, and my estimated range was at 13 miles. So I was getting down there, I was watching, keep an eye that we had gas stations around, and it seemed like it was kind of stuck there. I'd been going for a few miles and the range wasn't changing. So that's kind of weird. The gauge itself is, pretty much right down there. So I knew we were going to be running it, pretty close. But I was waiting to that low under the range miles estimated to come on before I refueled. And the low fuel light came on with the 50 miles, estimated left. So that worked normal, but the actual estimated range was at 13, and cruising on the expressway, and truck just dies. So able to coast off. Thankfully it was only minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit that day, so it was nice out. And got over on the side, tried to restart it about 6 times, no go. So made the half-mile hike, bought a gas can, filled it up, came back, restarted it, drove it right to the dealership. They gave me a loaner, and I just got it back. They had it for 5 days, and they had supposedly another engineer come out from Ram and look at it, and they said, we don't find anything wrong with the truck. We can't get Ram to warranty the sending unit, so just use it and don't let it get low on fuel. So yeah, obviously don't let it get low. So haven't found out a permanent solution yet. Right now my gauge is right on the line, so I'm pretty much out of fuel, and the estimated range is 11 miles now, but it's been stuck on that probably for about 20 miles. Got a small gas can in the back this time, and I'm just going to drive it until the truck shuts off, and we're going to see if the gauge is basically stuck again, or if we're going to get that low on the estimated range. If we get to low and a truck still drives, I'm going to continue to drive it till we're out of fuel. So I'll probably do another video once we can get that figured out. yeah, so I see there's a lot of frustration, at least from forums on the internet, about the bigger fuel tank and the gauge not reading, I guess, accurately or correctly along with the estimated range. So I've had my truck in multiple times, and so far they won't replace any parts because they, what I was told by the service manager is that Ram does not want to go down that rabbit hole and then, you know, admit that there's a problem that they need to, you know, maybe possibly do a recall on. So it is very frustrating. I do tow a lot, so it's frustrating if you're actually out of fuel, or if you've got, you know, 6, 7, 8 gallons left in your tank. I would just like the gauge to work accurately is my biggest thing. If the gauge is all the way out, I'd like to use, you know, most of the fuel. If I got 3 or 4 gallons left in the tank, that's fine. I just don't want to be refueling when I'm on E and it says, you know, that I can only put in 26 gallons. I paid for a bigger tank for a reason. So I'm just going to try to see if we can show you guys here. And the estimated's at 11 miles, and the gauge is basically perfect with the out of fuel line right now. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'm thinking it's probably going to happen today because I have one more errand to run, and we'll go from there. All right.